Hey guys, Beck and Jazzy here again with another video for you. I hope you're going to enjoy this one. Just a quick one while I do a quick walk. It's been raining. It's been really miserable all day. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon. Thought we'd take the one time that we're going to get to quickly come out and have a quick walk and a quick talk and just throw some things out there for you guys to think about. I don't know how many of you are following what's going on in the truther community, if we call it the truther community. I don't really like that, but let's just go with that, okay? As in what time frame we're in is in a biblical time frame that we may be in. I'm sure many of you, and I know many of you, are caught up on this stuff. So this is maybe for those of you that haven't caught up on what's going on. But I want to hypothesize some things that really will, if you're not over the fence with this idea that we are in Satan's short time. It's a little season, but it's actually translated into a short time. Well, maybe we can get you over the fence with a few things, and not just me. There is many people out there doing this. Now, I did say something to someone about this morning. I usually don't share things anymore with anybody because I've learned over the years that, you know, sometimes in the old days my temper could get the better of me when they just thought I was stupid and stuff. But now I'm cool with that sort of stuff. I don't behave like that anymore. But I did share this with somebody and they straight away fobbed me off. So, right, cool. I'm glad that happened with the first person. I've been keeping this under my hat from anybody around me. I've spoken a little bit online about it, and I think I did a little bit of a live stream about the old world buildings, but I hadn't quite put together. There hadn't been certain information presented to me, and myself come up with certain ideas myself that nobody else has yet either, that I will share at a later date. What we need to do is, let's look around us first. Let's look at what we're presented with. Now, we can theorize all day long about the Bible, but let's be honest. Do we know who wrote it? Do we know who it was addressed to? And number 3, do we know what time that those people were in that it was addressed to? Because it's certainly not addressed to us 2,000 years later, if we are to believe 2,000 years. So let's say that we can't go on a written account. Let's just pretend the Bible kind of didn't exist in a way, if you get what I mean. Let's just go on physical. Come. Jazz, now. Let's go. Let's just go on what physical evidence may pertain to us being in Satan's short season. Let's just go on that. Number 1, if you knew nothing, which is basically us. It's like we're a baby and we're stuck here and we've been a baby all our life, and all of a sudden we wake up as into where we're sitting and where we've been placed, okay? It's kind of what it is. But just say that you didn't know at all. You had no story of history. You had no story of history at all. And you were plonked here in this time. And you were told to write an essay on what you see. Yeah, that's a really good one, okay? If you do that, you're going to find that your essay is full of violence, hate, crime, and war. It is also full of evidence of previous civilizations, one being very ancient and another one since then, that have been buried, that are not talked about, that are covered up. Why? Nothing to hide here. If you've got nothing to hide, we should know these answers of what these civilizations were. They should have answers for our buried cities. They should have answers for catacombs under all major churches in Europe and America even. They should have answers for anything. But they give us funky stories. Now, I watched Gene Wilder do a narration on Chicago World's Fair. Guys, I could see why we believed the programming. Like, I admired Gene Wilder in the day. I admired him for his acting, him and Richard Pryor. And now we know why these people can act so well or do such a good job, because they're totally taken over. But, you know, they picked Gene Wilder to do this narration on Chicago's World Fairs, at the World's Fair in 1915. And let me just tell you, if you can't tell that's all a fish story, he must have been laughing reading the script. You know, this is what you've got to say, Gene. You know, this is what you're going to say. Here we go. Oh, seriously, can't you pick somebody else? Like, all right, you're going to pay me well for this? Yeah? Yeah, very well for it. And so, what do we have? Just another mess of lies to make people not see the evidence in front of you. So the evidence is in front of you, and then they come along and they say, that's not what you're seeing. You're not seeing correctly. All right, see that tree there? It's not a tree. It's a rhinoceros. You know, it's just, we need to tell you it's a rhinoceros, and then you will see it's a rhinoceros, and you will believe us. You will see it as a rhinoceros. I'm going to tell you 100 times it's a rhinoceros until you believe it. You better believe it. You're going to believe it. That's how it works. Continual programming, continual reassuring us that they know what happened. So let's go back to the evidence. What we have is a terribly, terribly broken world. One that, now that I can see it for what it really is, I can't believe I'm in this time frame. Oh, it is a horrible time to live in. However, in the scope of things, it could also be one of the most exciting, and if not the best time to live. And we have to realize, if this is what we're left with, this absolute decimated plane of existence, and if you don't think I'm telling the truth, just go on Google Earth. Look at Australia. Look at the middle of Australia. Tell me an aerial didn't blow the heck out of Australia, or a BOMB. I'm not sure which one, but something certainly did. And who was responsible for it? Was it allowed? Was it an act of our Father? These are things we can't answer until the very end. But there are certain elements of this journey we can answer. Where are we? What time frame are we in? Are we in the Millennial Reign of Christ? Does it look like it? Does it look like we're before it? Or does it look like we're after it? Because I think before it, when the devastation was caused by the flood, the very first flood of water, and that flood did a lot of damage, but it did recede, and things went back fairly quickly, you know, as far as the land. But when the devastation of Satan being loosed come out, that's when the earth reeled back and forth like a drunk. And never before was there an earthquake, and never again would there be one. You see, the Bible is very specific, and Jesus was specific. He said the destruction that would happen that would never be like before, or again. So if he's talking again, he was not talking about the end of the world in that sentence. He was talking about the tribulation, the temple being destroyed, everything we're told is going to happen now. He was talking about back then. It is very plain and obvious. Once you've been shown it, it's as obvious as the nose on your face. That's the funny thing about it. You'll go, oh my gosh. You'll be slapping yourself on the forehead and going, duh, 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 duh. How come I didn't see this? That's what we've all done. But it's okay. We weren't meant to see it. It wasn't meant to be revealed until now, which proves to many of us that we're close. I feel that. Many people are saying, feel so close, because so much now is revealed. So I look around, like I was saying, and I see, I go on Google Earth, Africa's been in the middle. Middle East is just decimated. They're living on sand, except for the oases that they've artificially created. Okay, let's just go back to realness and not the junk that they've man-made over the last 60, 70, 80 years. You go to any country, look at Siberia, carpet bombed, absolutely decimated, filled with holes. Look at the earth. That is all I want to say. I'm just planting seeds. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything anymore. I'm just telling you my journey. And it's been a long journey. It's been many, many days, hours, weeks, months, years, pondering what is real. What part of this can we piece together to at least have some sort of closure here? And I believe we found it. And I believe we found it years ago, but now it had to gain momentum with people. First time I spoke about this was about 4 years ago. And now the people have just jumped on it. They all think they're the first ones to find it. It doesn't matter who found it first. It doesn't. It's actually some chick that nobody even knows where she is was the first one who started exposing this on YouTube. And apparently she has vanished. Some of her work is still available on BitChute and Rumble or whatever, called Exploring Tartaria was the channel. She was the first one to come out and postulate this theory. So I do not believe it's a theory anymore. And like I said, I'm not here to convince anybody. I'm here to show you what I've learned. And I'm here to say that I know if Jesus is ruling this world right now, I'm not saying he's not, because the Holy Spirit is here and it's in us. Without that, we wouldn't even be walking around. Now, if he was actually here, we wouldn't be going through this. This tyranny and this criminal actions that are being perpetrated towards the normal man, normal working man, they wouldn't be happening. So you can bet we're not in the Millennial Reign. And we're not before the Millennial Reign. There's some answers that are questions that are pretty easy to answer here. If we go scripturally and we go down the line of what the Son of the Most High said himself, he said he would return for them in their generation. No tricks, no wording tricks, no little loopholes, no, it's plain as day. And when we stop, see, along this journey, there's a lot of things. People have gone the whole way. They'll believe in flat earth. They'll believe in the Mandela effect. They'll believe in all of the other, let's call them conspiracies, but they will not see this. Now, if this is such a strong, grand delusion, and this is the grandest delusion of all, that Jesus has already come, and that is what they've been hiding, if that's the grandest delusion of all, how come nobody knows about it? How come it's 0.01% of Christians, probably less, right now as we speak, that are talking about this issue? Online, everywhere. How come? And, the die-hard 501c3 Pentecostal charismatic family, they're the ones that are pushing against this more than anything. They got more to lose. What are they going to do with the rapture? They got so much to lose. But, stuff them. Listen, I'm in this for the truth. I don't want a fairy tale. If the rapture's not real, I want to know. If this is real, I want to know. I don't care if I've got to die for it. Oh no, I don't get to go in the rapture now. My whole life's over. Oh man, grow some nuts. So, and it's being real, guys. We are so mushroomed out. We've been kept in the dark and fed bullshit our whole lives. Okay? Don't you think Father's going to have mercy on us for that and what they've done to us? And especially if you just take the gospel as it says, believe on the Lord Jesus Christ and you'll be saved. Believe that he took the sins upon you. Repent means to turn to God. All you need to do is turn from what you're doing. Turn to him. And he will receive you as a son or a daughter. But we complicate it. We make it so hard to enter into the gates. And it's not. And you're going to say, well, what does this matter? This is about as bad as flat earth, Beck. It doesn't matter. Flat earth doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. All that matters is focus on Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Listen, that's cool. But what if they bring another Jesus out and you fall for it? Because you did not study to show yourself approved. Just remember, it's a narrow road. It's not a broad one. And not even all the people out here that are spinning all their wild theories and things around, a lot of them aren't going to find it because they're complicating it too much. Totally taking the focus off what is real. And that's what I've always tried to avoid the best I can. Man, none of us are perfect, no. But I've obviously had the wisdom to know that some things you just keep away from. You don't focus on them all the time. You find out about them, then you leave it. It's like vomit. You don't need to know about it anymore, but you know the vomit's there. Don't trip over it going out the door unless you're going to clean it up. All right? So there's some really serious issues going on. And if we just go, oh, la, 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 head in the clouds, Jesus is Lord, I'm fine, you will be taken by surprise because you will be like a blind white rabbit. So learning this stuff shouldn't be ugly and awful and horrible, and if that's what it is, you're doing it wrong. And it does take some spitballing and polishing the chrome and shining it up to get it better, but it does get better. It does get easier. And it gets easier because the more you let go and let your Father do it, that's where the rest comes. That's where the rest is from. And all you have to do is focus on how you behave, how you treat people, how you dish your love out, not your hate. That's what you need to focus on. And be as wise as a serpent, but as gentle as a dove. We were told to do this. Follow your heart, yes. But don't be a fool. Don't be one of them who sits in the stands going, yay, my team's winning, yay, yay, yay. Don't be one of them. I can see a bull's face. I can see a bull the side of a calf. And I haven't even got my glasses on. The calf's head is fading now. So I just hope this has helped somebody. I'm not going to go too much into depth with that. I do really want to do a live stream about this with my dear sister, Awaken in the Light, Jenny. I do, because we've got so much to say. I've talked to her endless hours in the last 2 years about this very situation that we're in. And it's not that I believe her or she believes me. It's that we've been shown the same thing. Maybe just like yourself. Doesn't that make you think that this is all synchronizing? Only the Father in heaven can synchronize such beauty, such togetherness, everybody all over the earth getting the same messages. And it's not just because you hear something and you think, yeah, I reckon that too. No, you hear something and go, oh my gosh, I already thought of that 6 months ago. And it goes on from there. So do not discount anything. The moment you shut yourself off from this, you're just as bad as what you call the people that are globers. You're just as bad as them. If you shut yourself off from this millennial reign is past, then you're really doing yourself an injustice. And I make a plea with you that you would open your heart and your mind and just read what Jesus said. Was he speaking to you in the future that he doesn't know who you are yet, even though he's the Son of God? He's not speaking to you, but just read it through the eyes that he is speaking, of who he is speaking to. Ask yourself, don't even let me tell you, ask yourself, who is he talking to? What group of people would he mean? Who is he addressing? And you'll find that we've been very deceived. And you will find that I could give you a line out of a book and I could give you my spin on that and I could make you believe my spin on it when it's completely different to what the author meant. Think about that. And I'm just giving you a commentary of the book. But it wasn't what the author was thinking. Okay, so this is how deceived and screwed up it all is. But fear not, because he's letting the truth come out. This is where your faith will come through. He will answer your prayers. You say, Father, I need to know the truth. Please show me at all costs. Now beware. Beware. There will be costs. This is Beck and Jazzy. We love you all. And I'm out.